Thanks for choosing to listen to this Late Night Linux Family podcast. We're only able to do this because of the people who support us. None of our shows are paywalled, but our Patreon supporters can get most episodes early and never hear any ads. Learn more at latenightlinux.com/support or support us by telling a friend or colleague about everything we do. Hello and welcome to episode 390 of Late Night Linux, recorded on the 15th of June 2026. I'm Joe, and with me are Phelan.
IP Freely.
Graham.
Good evening.
And Will.
Hello.
Is that a Simpsons joke, Phelan?
It was a bit of an IPO joke as well.
Oh, yes. Yes, a trillion more reasons to hate that word I can't say. We've got loads to talk about, but first, this is the last plug for the piss up that we're having on Saturday the 27th of June, which is not very long now. It's at the Shipwrights Arms next to London Bridge Station in London from 6 p.m. until late. Nothing formal, just get together, have some drinks, have a chat. That's it. So if you're in or around London on Saturday the 27th of June, come along. Phelan, you're not coming over, but Will and Graham, you've promised to be there, so you'd better be there.
I'll be there.
I'm not going to be there. I'm sorry.
Terrible.
Letting the side down. Well, at least Will's going to be there and some other people from the Late Night Linux family, and I'll be there as well. So, yes, come along and have great fun.
Yeah, I had a talk accepted at Open South Code, and I'm doing a talk on the Academy contribution model in Malaga. Sorry.
Wow. Malaga or the Shipwrights Arms?
Well, I'm sure you'll have a great time. I've decided to have a bit of a summer break this year, like we did at Christmas last time, where we had a short episode of all of the shows. We're going to do the same thing this time. So starting from Linux After Dark on Friday this week, and then all of next week, there'll be shorter episodes of all the shows. So I hope everyone's all right with that. It's me taking a bit of a break, but I thought a short episode is better than no episode for the various shows.
2 partial breaks a year, you lazy bastard.
I know. I really am just bone idle, aren't I?
It's a disgrace.
But then it'll be back to normal after that. The Steam Machine and Steam Frame are shipping this summer, according to Valve. This was kind of a throwaway line in their Steam Machine and Steam Frame standalone verified post. So that was quite exciting. But then I saw a Verge article. Valve just imported 13 tons of VR headsets in one day. So that is shipping from Hong Kong, I think, to America. So they are clearly getting ready for this launch.
This is the same Verge article that refers to the games console product at it arriving in 12,600 kilograms. Are we talking about the same thing, or is this cocaine? I'm not sure.
How dare you accuse them of that? Anyway, we've got Steam Machines and Steam Frames being imported into America. We've got them saying it's coming this summer. We just don't know the date yet, and more importantly, we don't know the price. So I'm kind of getting excited, but at the same time, I need to temper my expectations, because when it comes to the announcement and it's like 1,200 quid or 1,500 quid, it's going to be like, well, that could have been cool, but I'm not spending that.
Yeah, I feel the same. Although the last time we brought this up and I said I was going to get an Apple Vision Pro, I've gone off that idea generally. And I am a little bit more excited now for the Steam Frame. It's only the price if it verges into $1,500 territory, but yeah, this is great.
Its code name is the Deckard, Graham. Come on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll be reporting that it's been announced, you can pre-order it, and it is
free.
200 quid. Yeah. They're going to pay you £200 to have one.
Any moment now.
There's been a bit of drama with the AUR, the Arch User Repository, over the weekend. First, it looked like 400 packages had been compromised with malware, then 1,500, and then suddenly more. And then today, as we record, Arch has locked down the AUR for new signups. This is just a complete shit show. And I was already wary of the AUR. Now I'm just not interested in using it, and it's put me off using Arch generally, to be honest.
Oh, I have to agree with you. As a long-term Arch user, have I mentioned that before?
No.
We've all known this could happen. It was a matter of time. I think even the last time we were talking about malware on the Snap store, we said, look, this could happen to the AUR any day.
And they were also listening, apparently.
Good idea. Thanks, Graham.
It's a bit of a sober wake-up call, I think. I don't have an easy answer.
It's a miracle that it hasn't happened before, really. I've seen commentary from people saying that really the AUR isn't fit for purpose in 2026. It came around in a time when people could trust other people on the internet.
Yeah. And the thing is that it's a nice way of building and making packages available. It's quite straightforward compared to other package managers. And I think that's what made it popular. It's quite an easy way of auditing if you trust the sources that are mentioned in the package file. But yeah, this kind of just takes all the fun out of it. And I don't know what they're going to have to do, some kind of regulation. I will say, though, that I think I haven't looked at the Arch documentation for a long time, but it was always very cautious about the AUR. The rhetoric around it was, you're on your own as soon as you start installing stuff from there. So, I mean, it doesn't really affect the core Arch experience, but it's a bad reflection on the community.
Yeah, I mean, that is something to keep in mind. If you have not used the AUR at all, then you are not going to be affected by this. But it just doesn't fill me with confidence that the AUR is there, and it's just so popular. Like, that's one of the reasons to use Arch, people will tell you. If you look at Reddit threads and everything of people asking, oh, well, I've heard about this Arch, why should I use it? Obviously, really up-to-date packages is the first one, and the fact that it's rolling and release and you never have to do massive upgrades and everything. But the AUR and its rich repository of all the other software that isn't in the main repos is just a big selling point. But now, even once they get this sorted and even put processes in place, it's going to be difficult for me to trust it, which is sad. It feels like there was this cool thing that kind of relied on trust, and then dickheads have ruined it.
I worry that the worst is yet to come. Over the next few weeks, we will hear about people's bank accounts and crypto accounts being emptied and passwords being leaked onto the internet and shit like that. That's really going to get messy.
Very sad.
And in fact, it's going to damage the reputation of Linux across the world, because all of those people who over the years have been very vocal about supporting Linux and encouraging people to get on board are now going to have to answer some very difficult questions.
Well, are they, though? I've always said to people, stick to the repo, just stick to the repo. I mean, yes, it's not foolproof, but equally, you don't have shit like this happen. I mean, this is always the danger of making it easy to install stuff for sort of the new people, whatever. But this is the sort of side effect of that. It's like Windows. It's easy to install software, and it's just been owned at every single level all through the years. Like, I think there's a lot to be said for distro maintainers. I don't think people have valued what they should have been valuing all along.
Curl Summer of Bliss. This is a post by Daniel Stenberg. And he writes, the curl project will not accept or otherwise handle any vulnerability reports during the month of July 2026.
Good on him.
And later on he says, if you've got a paid contract, don't worry, we will keep supporting you.
And he said, GitHub issues and PRs are totally fine as well. So I think this is very fair, and I think this is a poke in the eye to HackerOne, because I think they have just been the fire hose of unbelievable bullshit. So well played, sir. Good on them, and I think this is a great idea.
Yeah, ultimately, this is just Curl's submission form on HackerOne will be paused.
The first thing I thought of when I read this was, how are people going to deal with the vulnerabilities of curling to bash when they're installing Windows things?
Quick follow-up on the retro handheld situation. Lots of people got in touch when I said that I wanted something around 20 quid, if it was possible, that I could play retro games on like Mega Drive and Game Gear and stuff, ideally in the kind of horizontal form factor. And some people wrote in with great suggestions, if my budget was like 50 or 60 quid. But that was not my budget. My budget was 20 quid. Anyway, people recommended the R36S, which is more the Game Boy form factor. And I found one on AliExpress for 22 quid.
Wow.
And the R36S, you can load different operating systems on, and it's totally hackable, basically. So I thought 22 quid, yes. Bought that, turned up relatively quickly, very quickly realized I was right about the form factor and had instant regrets that it just felt too small for me. And I played some of the games that were built into it, and I thought, right, now it's time to add my own games. Well, actually, first, I'd been told the SD cards that these come with are terrible and will just die. So one of the first things I did was make an image of that SD card and then put it onto another SD card, like a proper Samsung one. But when you put the SD card in to the computer and look at Gparted, it just says like unallocated. I was like, what? Which was a bit weird. That was red flag number one. But nevertheless, I managed to DD it onto another card and it was all fine. And then I tried to put another SD card in the other slot to load ROMs onto it, and it just wasn't recognized. I was like, okay. And then I did some digging, and it turns out that much like with cheap Casio watches, there are fake R36Ss, and I had bought a fake one. So I actually returned it this morning, finally dropped it off at the post office, and got an instant refund. So that's all good. And I found this wiki, the handhelds.wiki, that has got loads of great info about the R36S. And indeed the R36H, or H as you would say, Phelim.
Yes, I would, correctly.
Oh yeah, totally. And that is the horizontal version of it. It's basically exactly the same hardware, but in the form factor that I want. It was considerably more expensive for one from a reputable seller. And that is on its way to me now. That was more like 37 quid. So it's basically twice my budget, but I don't know. I feel like I'm all in on this now. And so this is from a proper reputable seller. So hopefully it won't be fake. Hopefully I'll be able to add my own ROMs to it and run custom operating systems and everything. So we'll see, I suppose. But yeah, hopefully I can talk about that in a couple of weeks.
On the fake one, what was the screen like and how did you play games on it? There were some games pre-installed then.
One or two, 22,000 games were pre-installed on it. And the screen was lovely, actually. The speaker was a bit shit, but I wasn't expecting much. But yeah, the screen was totally fine. But the thing is, all the games were like moody versions of games, like hacked Pokemon, where it didn't have any of the real names of the Pokemon. And like weird names for games. And there was a Sonic Advance, which I think was the first Sonic game that was ever on a Nintendo console, which was on the Game Boy Advance. And instead of Green Hill Zone, it was like, I don't know, like Leafy Zone or something. You know, it's just like weird names for everything. So it was quite playable. And like if AliExpress had just refused to give me a refund, for 22 quid, you know, it had plenty of games to play and loads of versions of old games, but they were just named weirdly, and you know, some of them are hacked to be a little bit weird and non-copyright infringing, or, you know, an attempt to, I assume, not infringe on copyright. But yeah, ultimately, I couldn't load any games on it. And that was basically the end of that. So I returned it. And we'll see what this R36H has to say for itself.
Are you going to run Linux on it, or does it have Android?
It's Linux.
Okay.
The operating systems for it are all based on Linux, like ARM Linux, because I think it's a rock chip. I think you can actually run just desktop Linux on it. I think there are some images for that. I will probably do that for a laugh at some point, because it's just a case of stick it on an SD card. But yeah, it's not Android based, definitely not. Will, you talked about wanting to try Kagi, the paid search engine, last time, and lots of people got in touch with us, and people sent us gift trials, and then someone from Kagi actually wrote to us with a few promo codes. So who has been trying this Kagi thing? I have not, so I hope that someone has.
I have replaced my default search engine.
And how good is it?
Well, fine is the answer. I thought originally all I would do is just go to the Kagi website and start using it, but that was silly idea. I had to replace the default Omnibar search engine with Kagi in order to start using it all the time. But Kagi make that very easy because on their homepage, there is an option that says install this plugin and then it will do all of the fiddly changing of your defaults for you. So I thought, fine, I'll do that. And I did, and it was fine. So it got installed easy enough. Then actually searching, I find it a little bit slow and I get the bot detector a bit too frequently, I would say. But the speed from which I go from the omnibar, hit enter, and then wait for the page to load with the results in is just a fraction slower than it was with Google. It's not enough to put me off, but it is just a minor niggle that I notice every single time.
Tell me about this bot detection thing.
You know, the Cloudflare, are you real? Please wait a minute while we do something. And it just takes, 10 seconds and then the page reloads and it's all fine.
And that's for the Kagi search itself then?
Yes. Yeah.
That's not very good, is it?
No, and I imagine it's some sort of cookie protection plugin that I'm running in Firefox, like a privacy plugin that is stopping it set cookies in order for it to know who I am and things like that. Anyway, it's not the end of the world, but it is just a little bit annoying. But then we come to the search results. They have been fine. I have had no problem hitting the thing that I want and the first 2 or 3 links. It's not necessarily always the first one, but it is usually somewhere very near the top. I don't think I've ever had to scroll off the front page. So that's good. I'm happy with how that's gone. The mix of results is interesting. There's definitely less like Google fodder in the top few that is just random shit off of YouTube that's got nothing to do with the thing that you actually searched for. So I'd say that the relevance is probably higher. But what I am starting to learn is that generally search is shit now. And it's not it's not just Google, it's not just Kagi, it is search. Everybody has search engine optimized the fuck out of every single topic you can imagine. And so when you want to go looking for information, it's genuinely hard to get past all of the just basically adverts on people's webpage dressed up to look like information. That I find annoying. So I'm coming to the opinion that Kagi is a perfectly serviceable, usable search engine. I like the fact that it's privacy respecting. I like the fact that you can tweak your results so you can favor certain content over others. I haven't really dug into that a great deal yet, but it's there. I know it's there if I want to use it.
Yeah, because people have told me that you can, for example, say, I don't want Pinterest and shit like that, and it just strips all that out of the results.
Yeah, and I think there's an option in there to favor, we talked about this last time, I think, like the small web. So you can favor individual personal blog posts over other things. I think that that's probably the setting that I should explore the most to get past all of this other shit. But the fact is that search is just useless now. It gets to the point where, and I know that Phelim and Joe, you will hate this, but it gets to the point where I think of a question that I want to put into the search engine. I think, you know what? I'm not even going to bother because the results will be dog shit. What I want to know is a fact, and therefore it will be part of ChatGPT or Claude. I'll just ask it there and get my results.
I'll just get a wrong fact instead. Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah.
Well, yeah, 0 facts sometimes, but it's search is shit and needs to be worked out. I think Kagi is the place to work it out, and I think that given time and tweaking, I can work it out. So I'm not going to get rid of it yet. I'm not sure that I will continue to pay for it, but at this point, I'm not going to get rid of it.
We got a lot of feedback about this, like I predicted, and some of it was very positive. A lot of it was very positive, but some of it was pretty negative. Not specifically about whether it's any good or not, but more about Kagi as a kind of business and their business practices. One of the specific things was using Yandex, which people say is effectively funding the war against Ukraine because Yandex is Russian. So that is one major sort of point against it. And the AI shit as well, people don't like that. Phelim, like you said that you were going to try it and then were a bit reluctant because of some of that feedback.
Well, okay, so you pay for a thing and I think that's fine. What I didn't anticipate, which is clearly daft, is when I went to log in. Well, I had to log in and I thought, wait, what? I have to log in. I'm not sure I like the idea that somebody can put my name on top of a bucket. I mean, yeah, I'm not using it for anything nefarious, but I just had this really uneasy feeling about it, and I backed out. So I'd installed the plugin, and I'd filled in all the stuff, and then I kind of went, I'm not sure about this. So I cancelled it, and I went off and did something else. And then fractionally later, the application popped in the top right corner when I went to search for something. It went, you need to log in. I went, oh, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden it fixed itself. I went, oh, yeah, we found you. I was like, fucking no, you didn't. How the fuck did it do that? I was like, I must have partially logged in, and it just went, oh, fine. You obviously clearly wanted to log in. We'll log you in the whole way. So I don't know what feature that is, but I don't know. I just didn't like that. And I thought, right, that's it. I'm scrubbed out the plugin, changed the homepage back to Quant, which I'd been using previously. But then I was out walking later, and I was listening to, various podcasts, and I just thought, is that not stupid? Should I not just try it? I'm not actually, I log into YouTube to then do a search in YouTube, but I guess that's in my head more constrained. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I should.
Just don't search for van hire and fertilizer.
AAA Golden Maverick.
I've been using it as well, at least in Qt browser, which is my personal browser when I'm working. And it was set to DuckDuckGo. And I've certainly preferred the experience to DuckDuckGo. It took me a while to realize it because the bangs, the !G for the Google search, which I have a terrible habit of using in DuckDuckGo, also works in Kagi. So once I kind of detrained myself from doing that, I was quite pleased with the results, and I did like being able to customize the results. It'd be nice if you could replace some of those horrible services with some of the kind of mirrors that people provide, but it worked okay. I actually realized how much I use my own bookmarks in Qt browser rather than searching for things randomly. So maybe I should try more in earnest on another browser where I typically do more searching. But yeah, maybe not enough for me to pay for it, which is slightly concerning, but it was an improvement on DuckDuckGo for me.
I just like that they felt we were important enough to send us promo codes.
I should say, actually, in Qt browser, maybe this is Qt browser, but you navigate with Vim bindings. It worked a lot better than both Google and DuckDuckGo for scrolling up and down and for creating manageable shortcuts when I want to see the shortcuts on screen. That was much better. So if you are using a Vim-like browser, that is a very good reason to switch.
Yeah, there'll be so many of those.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Is that HJKL you were using to navigate? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, but also you can press F for hints. You get the little pop-up hints for the shortcuts to press. Yeah, and that doesn't work so well in Google or DuckDuckGo. But I could scroll up and down in the results from Kagi and see the hints to be able to select the link much easier than I could with the other search engines.
I'll try give it a go. I think I just to see for shits and giggles, give it a go and see if I can get past my apprehension. That, yes, obviously several people also wrote in as I'm not saying that they didn't. So yeah.
I've got some weird habits that I realise as well. I sometimes do an image search to find, not in the way that you're thinking, I do an image search because I can't think of a good search term for something, but I'll know it when I see it. And I don't think that works so well in Kagi that I've got used to in Google. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I know what I mean.
That is a surprisingly good way to find videos sometimes.
Yeah. But if I don't know the thing that I'm looking for, but I know what it looks like, I can quickly scan the images.
That's even worse.
This is late night Linux, isn't it?
It is indeed. Quick 3D printing update. I have printed things and it was very exciting. But I don't really get this Octoprint thing, Graham. I have been just putting the G code or whatever it is, files.
Yeah.
Onto an SD card and sticking it in the printer. It's not the most convenient, but that's the other thing. It takes an awfully long time, doesn't it? Even to print something basic. So the extra couple of seconds of manually messing around with an SD card doesn't feel that bad when it's going to take hours to print something.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's still a hassle for me getting my SD card dongle wherever it is, sticking it in, copying the files across. It's much easier. Also, my SD card is just full of stuff, all with terribly random names. I find it a lot in Octoprint. I also have like a companion app on my phone. I get a preview of the thing that I'm trying to print, and the interface is just a lot nicer. So I know what you mean. Certainly, I've had some, like when I've had problems printing, I've gone back to the SD card because I know that I've always got the G code on there, but it's worth it for me.
A quick aside for the 3D printer illiterates for us, is Octoprint a bit like having a print server, as in a standard like cups print server, or what is it?
It's a bit like that, isn't it? It's like you plug your Pi or whatever machine that's running Octoprint into the printer, and then you can just address that over the network and send jobs to the printer. So it's a bit like that cups, I think, yeah.
So you can do that, but also you can monitor the print much better than you can on the printer through it. If you've got a camera attached to the device with Octoprint on, you can visualize the print.
Oh, nice.
It has a really big plug-in system, so I use a plug-in for turning off the printer with the smart plug when the print is finished.
Oh, right, nice. But you see, that would all be well and good, having a camera and a smart plug, if I wasn't shit scared to leave it printing with me not literally there watching it, essentially. Because when you install Octoprint, at least the Octopi version on the Pi, you have to go through this like setup thing. And one of the things it says is, do not leave your printer unattended. It might catch fire. And you have to like click to acknowledge that. And okay, right, well, I'm not going to leave it unattended then. I don't even leave it plugged in. Even when it's off, like a proper chunky switch, I still unplug it like some sort of, like my nana used to do, like with the telly at night.
Are you not like essentially there's lightning outside, let's disconnect the fucking Yagi antenna from the roof? Is that not the equivalent of that?
Well, all I know is this thing gets hot as fuck, and I'm not taking any chances.
Yeah, they're great in the winter. But I mean, maybe, I think it's good advice. Honestly, I wouldn't want to officially recommend anyone do that, but your confidence does build in your printer when you've watched it print for tens of hours. I mean, remember when it was COVID and I was printing the face mask stuff? I just left that running like 24/7 for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Selling to hospitals, Graham. It was a low point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you bought your yacht with the proceeds. Yeah. Well, I had a bit of a problem where the prints wouldn't stick to the bed. It was like all curved up on one edge. And people told me what you need to do is level the bed. I was like, it looks level enough to me. No, you need to properly level it. And Amleth from Linux Dev Time told me that the best way to do it is get a sheet of paper and move your head around manually, which you can do just on the printer, and make sure it's the same level at all places, at least all four corners. And I did that, and it has somewhat fixed it. It's not perfect. I didn't do a brilliant job of leveling it, because you have these like wheels with screws and springs to like level your bed on my printer. And anyway, after I did all that, it was much better. And I even printed something that moved. I think they call it a fidget clicker. And it actually worked. And I had moving parts, which was really quite cool, until I pushed it the wrong way and snapped it, which was a bit annoying. But it only took 45 minutes to print. So I might print another one, or I might print a bigger one. I don't know. But yeah, like even something really basic takes an awfully long time. I still need to do the benchy thing, you know, the little boat, but that's going to take hours and hours and hours. But I've been told that that's a great way to just assess how your printer is doing in terms of a lot of different things, because it looks like quite a simple little thing, the boat, but it's not, is it? It's like very much designed to benchmark your printer.
It's printed different layers in different ways, so there are lots of different challenges for the printer in it, printing it. So, you know, while some bits might be perfect, other bits might not be. I think it takes about an hour and a half for me to print that little benchy boat. So not too long. I must admit, I feel a bit lucky that my printer, it doesn't so much have auto leveling, but it benchmarks the level of the base. So the printer head can change its distance as it goes across. It calibrates every time you print.
And I've not really experimented with slicers much. So you need a slicer because someone makes a model, but that model is not necessarily for your printer, is it? It's just a general 3D model.
Exactly, yeah.
So then you put it through a slicer, which is you tell it what model of printer you've got and everything. And then it actually makes this file, the G-code file, that you then send to the printer to do the printing.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at G-code, it's like, do you remember Turtle Graphics when we were at school, maybe?
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's basic. G-code is a bit like that, move the head this far in this direction. The slicer knows how the limits of how a printer works and turns that 3D polygons into a track that the printer can follow.
Yeah, so I've been using a flat pack of Prusa slicer, and it's been reasonably good. So I don't know, should I stick with that or are there better ones?
I don't know. I use Prusa Slicer as well. Octopi or Octoprint comes with its own slicer. In theory, you can drop the OBJ or the STL file into Octoprint and it will slice it and print it for you. But I've always liked to see it in Prusa Slicer and analyze it a little bit before I commit. I can tell then whether I need, to have a rim if it looks a bit precarious in terms of printing and adhesion. And I'll sometimes add that, or infill, or supports. If you can see that something needs a support, you can visualize it in Prusa Slicer.
Yeah, I've not dared to do anything that needs supports yet. But Amelith called that a skirt.
Oh, yeah.
Around it. Like you add that skirt and it gives it more adhesion, as you say. Yeah. I've not done that yet, but I have modified a file, albeit a very simple one, because the first thing I printed was 20mm by 20mm square and 0.5 mm thick or high, like in millimeters that is, just to test it. And that was the first thing I printed. And then I adapted that to be 2mm high. And so I scaled it in Prusa Slicer, which is really easy. And I printed this test steps thing. It's an inch by an inch cube, but it's like in steps. And that was like the second thing I printed. And it was like so exciting. Like it started going and it's printing it. I'm like, this is so exciting. I'm 3D printing. I'm so excited. And then like 5 minutes go by. I'm really excited about this. It's really exciting. And then another 5 minutes. Yeah, this is really quite exciting. And then after about half an hour, I'm like, fucking finished. Jesus. But then it finished and it was like really excited again. So yeah, it's funny like how I went on that roller coaster ride from really high to, okay, really hurry up now. There's only so much darts I can play. But yeah, it's been good so far and I will return to this. But I am very aware that I don't want to make my whole personality 3D print guy, which some people tend to do, I've noticed on the internet. But yeah, very excited and very grateful for the help people have given me in the Telegram group and stuff. So yes, looking forward to printing more. Right, well, we better get out of here then. We'll be back next week with the short episode. Until then, I've been Joe.
I've been Phelan.
I've been Graham.
And I've been Will.
See you later.